Trying to get my camera to notice me. I'm going to check a couple things to see if this is streaming properly, because I guess there was a server crash on the East Coast. So now I've been switched over to Dallas type server. And I just have to confirm it's all working hunky-dory. All right, so that's live. Switched over to Dallas type server. All right, seems to be working. I just gotta let the person is working now. All right. So, in other regards, I am going to let me see if I was getting feedback here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and spin up the first article here. I have to reread it again. I'll be doing this if you're on YouTube. I'll be doing this every single day at best, except on the weekends, unless I'm really, really busy during the weekdays. Blockchain, tech, and finance news. If you're on the YouTube side, please do subscribe, turn on bell notifications here to Blockchain, tech, and finance news, and I'll spin up this first article. Let's go. All right, so a NASA engineer paid for his wedding and honeymoon by betting cryptocurrency on his ability to pick stocks for a quant trading firm. This is from Natasha Daly, editor-writer for Yahoo Finance. NASA engineer Hayden Burgoyne spends his nights betting cryptocurrency on stock picks. He's part of an online tournament hosted by crowdsourced fund NumeraI, Bloomberg reported. We trade stocks and we're doing a better job of it than most, the hedge fund's NumeraI's founder said. 32-year-old NASA engineer spends his evenings betting cryptocurrency on stocks he thinks will beat the market, and his hobby has paid off. At his day job, Hayden Burgoyne builds a spacecraft set to explore Jupiter's moons, but at night he picks stocks he thinks will outperform, and he bets cryptocurrency in an online trading tournament against thousands of others that his picks will win. Bloomberg News document Burgoyne's nighttime hobby in an article titled "Crowdsourced Quant Backed by Paul Tudor Jones Rides the Crypto Wave" by Justina Lee. He told the news outlet his hobby is more lucrative than most, considering it's paid for both his wedding and honeymoon in South America. About 3,500 people from all over the world are part of the tournament organized by San Francisco hedge fund NumeraI. 34-year-old founder Rich Crabe told Insider. The so-called NumeraI tournament crowdsources amateur quants who evaluate market data, stake cryptocurrency called Numeraire on the stock picks, and are rewarded more Numeraire based on their performance. There's so much hype in crypto, Crabe told Insider, we've actually used it to do something in the real world. Crabe told Insider 2 million Numeraire the firm has rewarded thus far and are now worth an estimated $90 million, making the digital asset worth about $45 a piece. Burgoyne, based in Los Angeles County, told Bloomberg he now has 630 tokens staked on his stock bets. Some have started making the tournament a big part of the income, Crabe said. Some people are staking $500,000 models so they could make $50,000 a week if their models did really well, he said. In a 2016 Wired article, Crabe said that he thought of the idea working for a South African asset management firm where he helped build machine learning algorithms. His firm now provides all its data and allows recruits to build machine learning models without really knowing what they're doing. We trade stocks and we're doing a better job than most of the best hedge funds. The crowdsourced fund has beaten many others, considering last year it was 8% as others struggled, according to a Medium post from NumeraI. This year the fund is up 9% as of August, Crabe told Insider. NumeraI has received backing from billionaire Paul Tudor Jones and former Renaissance technology executive Howard Morgan, Bloomberg reported. So you can read the original article on Business Insider there. It's from Yahoo Finance. Let's spin up this next article and keep this going. Oh, let me turn on my lights here. That's why. All right. If you're on the YouTube side, please do subscribe, turn on the bell notifications here to Blockchain, Tech, and Finance News while I spin this next article up, and chat with me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments or in the chat on the different platforms. Next article I have coming up, MoneyGram partners with Stellar and USDC for blockchain-based payments. All right, just gotta close the tech support window. For why I was having stream errors. I guess a whole slot of people are having stream errors. All right, so let's go right on to the next article here. Granted that it will load. If not, we're going to go jump onto the next article after that. Here we go. This is from CoinDesk and the business side. MoneyGram partners with Stellar and USDC for blockchain-based payments. This is from Ian Allison, writer-editor for CoinDesk. So the firms will begin to pilot this year, followed by a gradual rollout in early 2022. Traditional cross-border payment giant MoneyGram is working with the Stellar blockchain network to create instant money transfers using Circle's USDC stablecoin. The company's announced Wednesday. Make sure. Oh, let's pop the interface up there. There we go. The firms will start with a pilot in the fourth quarter of this year. Early 2022, we'll see a gradual rollout of the ledger-based stablecoin bridge between crypto and local currencies, with a view toward connecting MoneyGram's $150 million or so consumers. Working with MoneyGram allows end consumers to have on-off ramps on and off ramps everywhere that MoneyGram's vast agent network supports. So this is just transformational in terms of being able to exchange crypto for fiat and fiat for crypto. Danielle Dixon, CEO and executive director of the Stellar Development Foundation, said in an interview, "We're trying to go as big as we can." The news will come as a slap in the face for Ripple, the cryptocurrency payments network whose long-standing relationship with MoneyGram wound down after the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) filed suit against Ripple in December 2020, saying the firm violated federal securities law. Alex Holmes, MoneyGram's chairman and CEO, pointed out that the partnership with Stellar is an entirely different animal from the relationship MoneyGram had with Ripple, which leveraged the crypto firm's on-demand liquidity ODL to facilitate foreign exchange FX trading. According to Holmes, working with Stellar is larger in scope because it directly touches on consumer payments. Leaving aside the question of whether Ripple's native currency XRP is a security or not in the eyes of the law, the vision the firms were working on had certain limitations. The process worked, said Holmes in an interview. The challenge was that we were trying to create an FX market in a different world. It really needed a lot more time to bring that to life and make it work. The other challenge was that because we were trading XRP, it unfortunately has volatility associated with it. Banks have typically been skittish about getting hands-on with cryptocurrencies. United Texas Bank, which will serve as a settlement bank between Circle and MoneyGram, benefits from having a progressive approach, as does Texas as a state, said Holmes. Texas has a fairly proactive stance on crypto, and the governor has made a few comments. Holmes said United Texas Bank is an established bank here and very focused on the opportunities in the crypto space. Not every bank is willing to step into the crypto world, and I think it says a lot about how progressive that bank is trying to be. In what's becoming an increasingly febrile regulatory climate, CoinDesk reported this week that Circle received a subpoena from the SEC. So did this feel like deja vu all over again for MoneyGram? I'm quite used to regulation, Holmes said, and unfortunately a lot of regulation ends up being a look back. I think the blockchain world and digital asset world will have really accelerated, and now I see a lot of regulators are catching up. So MoneyGram partners with Stellar and USDC for blockchain-based payments, so I'm sure we will definitely be seeing more adoption from that moving forward in the coming future. All right, let's spin up this next article. Keep on reading. Next up is from Cointelegraph. Riot Blockchain tripled production this year and is hoarding $194 million in Bitcoin. So let's get this next article up here. Riot Blockchain tripled production this year and is hoarding $194 million in Bitcoin. Public mining from Riot Blockchain has more than tripled its year-to-date Bitcoin production. United States publicly listed mining firm Riot Blockchain has revealed that its year-to-date Bitcoin BTC production has more than tripled compared to 2020. According to a Wednesday announcement, Riot has mined 2,457 BTC, roughly $135 million during 2021 so far, a 246% increase compared to the same period of the previous year. Production for September has more than quadrupled year over year, with Riot mining generating 406 Bitcoin last month, comparing to 91 Bitcoin for September 2020. As of September 2021, Riot was in possession of 3,534 Bitcoin, $194.4 million worth. The firm said that it has mined every Bitcoin it owns. Riot claims it now boasts a deployed fleet of roughly 25,646 miners, representing a total hash rate capacity of 2.6 exahashes per second EH/s. Riot expects to have deployed an additional 2,000 Bitmain AMP miners S19Js by early November, forecasting a total hashing power of 2.8 once the new units are operational. A further 4,000 AMP miners S19Js, so those are the new AMP miners, are slated for shipment from Bitmain's Malaysian facility at the end of October. Despite Riot's strong September performance, the firm did not sell any of its newly mined Bitcoin. Riot's accumulation caught the attention of MicroStrategy CEO Michael Saylor, who tweeted, "Publicly traded Bitcoin miners aren't selling Bitcoin. They are accumulating Bitcoin. The game has changed." Riot also notes that the construction of its recently acquired Whinstone facility in Texas is making around-the-clock progress, predicting that the facility's 4th megawatt power transformer substation will have been installed by December. Looking ahead, Riot expects to command a hash rate of 7.7 EHS before the fourth quarter of next year, estimating it will operate more than 81,000 AMP miners by then. Here's why Bitcoin mining stocks have been outperforming BTC. Oh, that's a different article. Riot is not the only publicly traded mining firm to post strong results for September, with rival Marathon Digital Holdings announcing on Monday it had mined 340.6 BTC for the month. Marathon revealed a 91% quarterly increase in production, with the firm mining 1,252.4 Bitcoin, nearly $69 million worth for Q3 2020. Marathon estimates it commands a fleet of 25,272 miners, representing a combined hash rate of 2.7. Marathon also secured a $100 million credit line with Silvergate Bank on Friday. Shares of Marathon have raised 254% year to date, from $11 and roughly $39, while Riot stock is up 61% from $16.48 to $26.61 over the same period. So this is Riot Blockchain triple production year and is hoarding $194 million worth of Bitcoin. Let's spin up this next article here and keep on reading. Next thing we got coming up is from CoinDesk. We got AMC Theaters to accept crypto in payment for gift cards. So if you're on the YouTube side, please do subscribe to turn on bell notifications here to blockchain, tech, and finance news. Let's go. So AMC Theaters to accept crypto as payment for gift cards. CEO Adam Aron said the chain will begin accepting Bitcoin as payment for tickets and concessions by the end of the year. This is from writer Jamie Crawley, an editor for CoinDesk. Again, I will also be, come Monday and into next week, this data speed and networking speed on the how things are loading and stuff on here. If you're experiencing any kind of like maybe a little bit of lag or something, that should be going away. I got some server speeds increasing here over the next week. So let's go. AMC Theaters, the largest movie theater chain in the U.S., is accepting Dogecoin and other cryptocurrencies as payment for digital gift cards. Consumers can buy gift cards up to a value of $200 per day in app or in theaters using BitPay Wallet, CEO Adam Aron tweeted Wednesday. In an earnings call in August, Aaron said that the chain would begin accepting Bitcoin as a payment for tickets and concessions by the end of the year. AMC has 593 U.S. theaters and 335 international locations. Dogecoin, a meme-based cryptocurrency, responded positively to the news, hitting its highest value in over 3 weeks at over 27 cents before subsequently pulling back. At the time of writing, Doge was priced 24 cents. Oh, so this is a very good, a little small article
Soon
here.
you'll be able to buy movie tickets with Bitcoin. In an earnings call on Monday, AMC said customers in the US will be able to get tickets and snacks with Bitcoin by 2022. So my immediate thoughts about this were that we need more clarity on taxes before this is really cool. But I think it's really awesome that AMC is putting the technical infrastructure into place so that people have the option to buy tickets and snacks with Bitcoin. And then when we finally get clarity on taxes, this can be something that the mainstream can enjoy. But Naomi, I know you love to spend your Bitcoin on various different things. So I'm going to kick this off to you. What did you think when you read this story?
Clarifying comment. I do not spend my Bitcoin on anything. I save my Bitcoin. I spend other coins on things because spending Bitcoin, it doesn't make sense for a merchant situation. It takes like 10 minutes at least for something to be confirmed. So a merchant is not going to wait around as you're like, wait.
So I will say iterate upon the Bitcoin Lightning Network layer 2 protocol scaling of Bitcoin mainnet, and that it's faster, cheaper, and vastly faster actually, and a bit more efficient. And there's actually currently 3,000 Bitcoin worth that is migrated from the mainnet into the Lightning Network currently.
It is coming through. Trust me, it's almost there. It doesn't work. I've tried this for years. Also, it's very expensive. But yes, crypto in general is good for spending. I mean, I will say that I don't see this as like, yay, AMC is getting on board. Like, I see this as a dying industry, and then basically putting the word blockchain in their, stock ticker. Like, AM blockchain.
So I will because I have my microphone off. So yeah, maybe it is a thing that AMC is kind of like doing a little bit of a grab over things like that. Let's turn this off. You get the point there. We don't have to watch that whole video. Is being that, I mean, yeah, maybe it's a little bit of a grab of AMC that's kind of in an industry that's maybe struggling a little bit more because there are other industry standards like Amazon and Hulu, Netflix, and even Amazon. You're able to rent movies that are in the theaters as well due to the COVID pandemic going on and stuff like that. So will it really help? We'll see. I'm sure there's people out there who will have cryptocurrency who will go use that at AMC. Let's go right into the next article here. So Google says flight search tool can help you fly greener. Searching for flights on Google just got greener. This is by Associated Press from US News. So I'm not going to play that. A new search feature rolled out on Wednesday tells users which flights have lower carbon emissions, giving them the ability to choose flights based on carbon emissions, just as they would price or the number of layovers. I don't know what that's a weird. Basic search for flights will give an estimate of how many kilograms of carbon dioxide the flight will spew from start to finish. Users can prioritize their search by emissions, much like they can by price if desired. Flights with emissions below the median get highlighted in green. Google said the estimates are a combination of data from the European Environmental Agency and flight-specific information it gets from airlines and other providers. That data could include an aircraft's age, model, and configuration, the speed and altitude it flies at, and the distance between flights or the flight's origin and destination. Some flights may not have estimates because of a lack of data on certain aircraft or other missing information, Google said. The company added that the estimates don't yet take into account what direction the plane is heading, a potentially significant factor if flying into or with the jet stream, or whether or not the flight is using biofuels or other alternatives. Using the new tool, the least polluting flights from Washington, D.C. area to Chicago are United flights using Boeing 737s. The 128 kilograms of carbon dioxide falls 21% below the median. An American Airlines flight on another Boeing 737 from San Francisco to New York with a stop in Dallas emits 535 kilograms of carbon dioxide, 9% less than the median for that route. Multiple stops can often result in an increase in emission, but it's not always the case. Non-stop flights aren't always less polluting, particularly on longer routes. Google says that a more fuel-efficient plane can emit less on a multiple-stop journey than an older plane on a non-stop route. Airplanes account for a small portion of emissions that cause climate change, about 2% to 3%, but their share has been growing rapidly and is expected to roughly triple by mid-century with the global growth. The airline trade group, Airlines for America, says U.S. carriers have more than doubled the fuel efficiency for their fleets since 1978 and plan further reductions in carbon emissions. But the Independent International Council on Clean Transportation says passenger traffic is growing nearly 4 times faster than fuel efficiency, leading to a 33% increase in emissions between 2013 and 2019. The new emissions tool allows Google's introduction last month of a way for people to find eco-certified hotels. Also on Wednesday, Google introduced technology that allows drivers to find more fuel-efficient routes on Google Maps, and from Google's Nest thermostat upgrades that will help people find energy from the power grid during times of day when its sources are cleaner, such as from wind and solar. The new features are part of a sustainability initiative Google CEO Sundar highlighted Wednesday. Climate change is no longer a distant threat. It's increasingly local and personal. Pichai Toll wrote in a blog post, we need urgent and meaningful solutions to address this pressing challenge. He added, saying the company has committed to run its data centers and campuses on carbon-free energy by 2030. Google, owned by Alphabet Inc., is based in Mountain View, California. All right, so here we go. Google putting in some more technologies. It says flight search tool can help you fly greener. I think that's pretty cool myself. I think that's pretty cool. All right, so let's spin up this next article here. I have 3 more articles here, and we're going to cut the stream for the day. All right, so let's go. All right, so this is from The Guardian. AUKUS pact to deepen Australia-US collaboration on space technology. So NASA's Artemis mission to send a crewed vehicle to the moon set to further partnership between the two countries. So the AUKUS agreements will boost collaboration between the United States and Australia and space. Australian Space Agency Chief Enrico Palermo says. So this is for some technology news here. Palermo was speaking. Let me see if I got this all. Okay, cool. Sure, I got everything working here, right? All right, so don't want to play this. All right. Palermo said that Australia signing the Artemis Accords, a guidance to space exploration principles signed by Australia, the U.S., and other countries, was a sign of commitment to the rules and norms that seek to ensure the safety, stability, and sustainability of outer space. We should also note that AUKUS discussion is a further indication of the growing depth of collaboration between our two nations and the UK, he said. And we hope that this momentum continues with even greater trade and collaboration across the space sector in the near future. The role of space in AUKUS was glossed over initially as an announcement about ending Australia's submarine deal with France in favor of nuclear-powered submarines took precedence. Shortly after the AUKUS announcement, Australian Foreign Minister Marise Payne mentioned it briefly. We and our partners have agreed to deepen cooperation in such areas as equitable vaccine distribution, COVID-19 economic recovery, low emissions technology, infrastructure investment, critical technologies, education, cybersecurity, space, and countering disinformation, she wrote. Space is a critical part of any future military action because satellites are needed for communication, navigation, and weapon guidance. There are fears nations such as China or Russia could target those satellites in any escalation of hostilities, leaving countries including Australia deaf, dumb, and blind. A joint statement issued after September's Osman meeting noted that the U.S. and Australia recognize the importance of shared capabilities and a common understanding of space-related threats. There are plans for combined satellite activities such as Space Framework Agreement to expand cooperation on civil research, exploration, and the use of space for peaceful purposes. According to Australian Strategic Policy Institute defense analyst Malcolm Davis, China poses a threat to the US, UK, and Australian satellites. A threat of hostile and aggressive behavior in orbit is real, he wrote, and will be critical for the three space powers. China already deploys direct ascent hard kill anti-satellite or ASAT weapons, holding at risk the entire range of critical US, UK, and Australian space supports in a crisis, he wrote. Hard kill ASATs physically destroy satellites. Davis warns China and Russia have also demonstrated soft kill attacks that disable or deny access to satellites. The space domain is critical for a war that is precise, decisive, and rapid, reduces the cost in lives lost, and minimizes the prospect of failure, Davis wrote. Reducing the prospect of a successful counter-space campaign and denying China and Russia the ability to deliver a decisive Pearl Harbor in space is probably the most important goal for AUKUS, since such an attack would quickly take away any knowledge edge, and dramatically boost in risk of rapid defeat, leaving the three states effectively deaf, dumb, and blind in a crisis. Nelson spoke that Australia's long-standing alliance in wars and in space dating back to when the dish was part of the Apollo missions. He referred to Australia's role in the 1969 moon landing and promised that NASA was preparing to announce more details about Australia's role in the Artemis mission. We've been partnering with Australia's Space Agency to with the Australian Space Agency to identify potential collaborations on the moon because we're going back to the moon. We were there before, but this time it's to stay, learn, and prepare to go to Mars. We've identified an opportunity that will enable Australia's expertise to align with NASA's exploration capabilities, and it's going to be a great partnership. Asked to elaborate, Palermo said, "Stay tuned." All right, so this is a little bit about AUKUS Pact to deepen Australia's U.S. collaboration on space technology. So I'm going to spin up the next article here. If you're on the YouTube side, please do subscribe, turn on the bell notifications here to Blockchain Tech and Finance News. I have 2 more articles to read from today. And again, if something happens on the lag side, looks like we had some server crashing issues on the East Coast side. So they had to port me over. This platform had to, streaming engine platform had to port me over to a Dallas server or something like that, which I linked. So I'll be able to adjust that now. But anyways, this first article we have coming up is how will a stock market crash after your retirement savings? This is from Waco Tribune Herald. Let's go. Okay. How will the stock market affect your retirement savings? This is a little bit of some finance news here. What's this? Answer a survey. Am I a mobile gamer? Yeah, of course. Of course I'm a mobile gamer. How comfortable I'm playing games on web browsers? I'm comfortable. That's what's up. All right, let's go. Let's read this article now. A short little survey to give me access to this. Well said. It's been a rough few weeks for the stock market as prices slid and economic uncertainty continues. Since September, the S&P 500 has fallen by around 5%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, it'll be off over here, is down roughly 3.8% in that time period, and the Nasdaq has dropped by more than 7%. There are many reasons stock prices may be slipping, including supply chain challenges, increasing COVID-19 cases, and labor shortages across the country. While some investors believe a market crash could be looming, it's uncertain what the future holds for the stock market. Whether a crash is coming or not, it's a good idea to consider how Market volatility can affect your financial future, especially if you're nearing retirement age. Whether you're already retired or plan to retire in the relatively near future, here's how a market crash could affect your savings. The key to protecting your savings from a crash: how badly your retirement savings will be hit if the market crashes depends how largely on your asset allocation, which is how your investments are divided within your portfolio. Younger investors generally allocate more of their portfolios towards stocks because stocks tend to see much higher rates of returns than bonds and other conservative investments. A portfolio that's heavily invested in stocks will be hit harder if the stock market crashes, but younger investors have decades to let their money recover. As you get older, it's wise to adjust your assets allocation to be more conservative. If you're close to retirement and say 90% of your portfolio is made up of stocks, a market downturn might wreak havoc on your savings. That could spell disaster when you're depending on those savings to make ends meet into retirement. There's no hard and fast rule when it comes to how much of your portfolio should be in stocks versus bonds. However, a general guideline is to subtract your age from 110. The result is the percentage of your portfolio that should be invested in stocks. This means that if you're, say, 65 years old, you should have around 45% of your portfolio in stocks and 55% in bonds. Is it safe to invest in stocks right now? Regardless of your age, it is still wise to have some money in stocks. While stocks can be riskier than bonds, they can all help your savings grow much faster. Even after you retire, you still want your savings to continue growing throughout your senior years by investing. By investing at least a small portion of your portfolio in stocks and allocating the rest towards more conservative investments like bonds, you can maximize your earnings while minimizing your risk. It's also important to continue investing in the stock market even during periods of volatility. It can be tempting to pull all your money out of the market, especially if you're nearing retirement, but that can be a dangerous move. If you're wrong time, when prices are lower, you could lose money and lock in your losses. The stock market can be intimidating, especially if you're worried about losing your retirement savings. The good news, though, is that by double checking your asset allocation, you can protect your money as much as possible. 10 stocks we like better than Walmart. When our award-winning analyst team has an investing tip, we can pay to listen. Oh, this is Motley. I don't want to listen to Motley. All right, so they got 10 best stocks there. You can look into this article and go into Motley Fool yourself and take it or leave it. What type of information? That's not financial advice. Do your own research. I do a lot more reading than following something like Motley. Most definitely. Oh, that's for sure. All right. Let's go back into this. I have one more article to read here. I'm going to close out this stream today. If you're on the YouTube side, definitely please do subscribe, turn on the bell notifications here too. Blockchain, tech, and finance news. I'll be trying to do this every day at best, except on the weekends. And all these articles I read will be in the recap in the description box below on the YouTube side and the Twitch side. Permanently, the Twitches will expire after some time. So the last article I have coming up is another from Yahoo Finance. Facebook stock faces serious problems from a whistleblower analyst. Let's go. So Facebook stock faces serious problems from whistleblower analysts. This is from Thomas Hume, writer for Yahoo Finance. Following Facebook stock FB whistleblower Francis Haugen's testimony before the Senate Commerce Subcommittee on Consumer Protection in an outage that prevented users from accessing services. The company's shares began trading around 3% lower from the previous week on Wednesday. I mean, again, not financial advice. Do your own research. Take caution in the marketplaces. But maybe someone like myself, I think of, hey, that's an opportunity for Facebook stock right there. Because at the end of the day, I mean, it's going to repair one way or another. It's still going to be operating, selling ads and revenue. So, hey, according to the Fitzgerald Group of Chief Investment Officer, because again, like I will say this, I'll keep going with this article. money is not tied to emotion. So I mean, if a bunch of people like emotionally were like, "Oh my God, whistleblower," and all this stuff going on with Facebook, I'm gonna let these stocks go, whether it was a loss or they're at a gain or whatnot. If it was down 3% because of an emotion thing, basically, that's not gonna help making money for people who are seasoned investors who trade without emotion, things like that. Look at linearly making money. Sorry about that. I was having my daughter get one onto one of her class things. So according to Fitzgerald Group Chief Investment Officer Keith Fitzgerald, however, Staso stock might not be as resilient as it has been amid other controversies. Fitzgerald Group is very keen to invest in almost all the big tech except Facebook, Fitzgerald told Yahoo Finance Live. Because as the whistleblower alleges, I think the buck stops with Zuck, and there's some serious problems. Because if they are able to prove that they have deliberately misled investors, that is a serious litigation time. I think the stock may not pull out of this one. Fitzgerald joined Yahoo Finance Live to discuss the latest market action as well as investor sentiment for Facebook in light of the recent controversies. Fitzgerald Group is a private market research company which focuses on nonlinear price prediction, stock selection, and investing education. If litigation does materialize from further developments, Fitzgerald believes advertisers may grow wary of the tech giant. Well known when advertisers start to foist, but I've got to believe there's going to be some harsh conversations at the boardroom level, Fitzgerald said. In her testimony, Hagen, a former Facebook product manager, stated that Instagram was addictive to kids just like cigarettes and that the company was aware that it was leading young users to anorexia content. Her testimonies follows her leaking of a multitude of internal Facebook documents revealing the social media platform's knowledge of the spread of misinformation and divisiveness on the site and the negative effects of Instagram on youth, as well as other issues. In response, Facebook Vice President and Content Policy Monica Bickert told Yahoo Finance on Tuesday that the leaked documents had been mischaracterized and said that Hagen had not worked on any of the issues related to the leaked material. The buck stops with Zuck. Fitzgerald said that what makes this issue distinctly different from previous Facebook controversies is that the documents released by Hagen suggest that the problems within the company run right to the very top. Apparently, there is only evidence backing Hagen's testimony up. There's not only evidence backing Hagen's testimony up, but lots of other factoids that haven't yet hit the wires, and I'm hearing through the rumor mill, Fitzgerald said. So what this tells me is that the tenor of the conversation has changed. As for what changes may need to be made in order for Facebook to become a more attractive place for investors in the long run, he said that Zuckerberg would need to step down. What I do know is that Zuckerberg's brilliant. He's a lot of things, but he's not an executive I'd care to invest in right now, Fitzgerald said. Fitzgerald believes investors won't have confidence in the company going forward unless Zuckerberg acknowledges the company's mistakes and it reinvents itself. He estimated that Facebook could potentially triple its value if it gets back on track. If the allegations are true, and if the buck actually stops with Zuckerberg himself, then that sets up a cascade of events that they've got to get him out of the leadership chair. Perhaps he goes into an advisory capacity. Perhaps he becomes chairman emeritus. I don't know, Fitzgerald said, but the board has got to stay. Has got to say that this is a reset. We've acknowledged our transgressions. We're going to take these steps and we're going to actually move forward. So yeah, it's from Thomas Hum as a writer for Yahoo Finance. You can follow him and stuff like that, and you can get articles again on the recap side. You can read them at your own leisure. You can check them out. You can see other articles that were extensions of these articles. on the YouTube side on these recaps, as I'll have all the source articles listed in the description box below on these. So without further ado, that's the news for today. If you're on the YouTube side, please do subscribe, turn on the bell notifications here to Blockchain Tech and Finance News and my channel, KinToshi, on Twitch and YouTube. And if you're on other platforms, you can like Trovo, DLive TV, Facebook, and Twitter. Please do follow, retweet, share, all those cool, awesome things. And I will see you back tomorrow with more Blockchain Tech and Finance News. It's Tomorrow Friday? Yep, I'll see you back tomorrow. Cheers. Sometimes I do this on the weekends as well. If there's important news or something's going on, I will be here live to read the news as well. Stay well, stay safe. Peace be with you.